Welcome to Best 5, where we explore the most fascinating and shocking stories from around the world. Today, we dive deep into the mysterious rise and wealth of Benny Hinn. Number 5. Benny Hinn's early spiritual transformation. At the age of 19, Benny Hinn had a life-changing spiritual experience that shaped his future as one of the most influential evangelists of the modern era. Born in Jaffa, Israel, into a Palestinian Christian family, Hinn moved with his family to Canada after the Arab-Israeli conflict of 1967. He struggled with the challenges of adapting to a new country and culture. But everything changed when he attended a revival meeting led by evangelist Catherine Kuhlman in Pittsburgh. Kuhlman's healing ministry, known for miraculous recoveries and dramatic spiritual encounters, left a profound impression on Hinn. He described that moment as a spiritual awakening, inspiring him to dedicate his life to spreading God's healing power. After that pivotal event, Hinn immersed himself in prayer, studying the Bible, and learning about the power of faith healing. In 1974, Hinn founded the Orlando Christian Center in Florida. His ministry began attracting attention due to its powerful healing services, much like those that had inspired him. People flocked to his gatherings, seeking healing and spiritual renewal. Over time, his ministry grew, and his services were broadcast worldwide, launching his career as a global televangelist. This was the beginning of a journey that would make Benny Hinn a household name in faith healing and Christian evangelism. Number 4. Benny Hinn's Global Healing Crusades. As Benny Hinn's ministry grew, so did his reach. By the late 1980s, he had become a household name in Christian circles, known for his powerful healing crusades. These large-scale events, often held in stadiums worldwide, attracted massive crowds seeking physical and spiritual healing. What made these crusades unique was the energy and emotional intensity that Hinn brought to the stage. His healing services were dramatic, marked by worship music, prayers, and miraculous moments where individuals claimed to be healed of illnesses and diseases. Thousands of people would stand in long lines, waiting for their turn to be touched by Hinn and receive healing through what he called the power of the Holy Spirit. Many claimed to feel an overwhelming spiritual force that would cause them to fall to the ground, a practice known as being slain in the Spirit. These crusades were more than just events. They were spiritual gatherings that crossed borders, with Hinn traveling to countries in Africa, Europe, and Asia. His ability to draw diverse crowds from different cultures made him one of the most internationally recognized evangelists of the 20th century. His television program, This Is Your Day, broadcasted these crusades, amplifying his reach and making his ministry available to millions of viewers worldwide. Despite the controversy that sometimes surrounded his methods, Hinn's global crusades played a significant role in shaping modern-day televangelism and faith healing, securing his legacy as a major figure in Christian ministry. Number 3. Benny Hinn's controversies and financial scrutiny. While Benny Hinn became a beloved figure for millions around the world, his ministry was not without its share of controversy. Over the years, Hinn faced increasing scrutiny, particularly regarding the financial aspects of his ministry. As a high-profile televangelist, his luxurious lifestyle, marked by private jets, expensive homes, and lavish spending, raised questions and drew criticism from both within and outside the Christian community. In 2007, the U.S. Senate launched an investigation into 6 prominent televangelists, including Hinn, to determine whether they were abusing their nonprofit status for personal gain. The investigation focused on whether donations from followers were being used properly or being diverted for personal luxuries. Although no charges were ultimately brought against him, The inquiry cast a shadow over his ministry and caused many to question the transparency of his financial operations. Critics of Hinn's ministry often pointed to the lavish expenses that seemed at odds with the humble message of faith and healing that he preached. Watchdog organizations and media outlets raised concerns about how donations given by followers who believed in his healing powers were being spent. While Hinn maintained that his financial practices were above board and compliant with legal standards, the criticism stuck with him throughout his career. Despite these controversies, many of Hinn's supporters continued to defend him, believing that the good he had done far outweighed any allegations of wrongdoing. For them, his work as a healer and a spiritual guide remained undiminished by the scandals that surrounded his financial dealings. Number 2. Benny Hinn's reconciliation with his wife. One of the most publicized and emotional chapters of Benny Hinn's life came in 2010 when his wife, Suzanne Hinn, filed for divorce after more than 30 years of marriage. The divorce shocked many of Hinn's followers, as the couple had been seen as a model of stability in the public eye. Suzanne cited irreconcilable differences as the reason for the split, and the news quickly made headlines, causing widespread speculation about the reasons behind the breakdown of their marriage. Hinn later admitted that the intense demands of his ministry, which often took him on long trips around the world, had put an enormous strain on his personal life. He expressed deep regret over not spending more time with his family, acknowledging that his devotion to his work had, in part, contributed to the collapse of his marriage. However, in a surprising turn of events, Benny and Suzanne reconciled 3 years later. In 2013, they remarried in a grand ceremony in front of thousands of followers, with Hinn publicly describing the reconciliation as a testament to God's power to heal even the most broken relationships. Their reunion was celebrated as a story of redemption, not just in the eyes of their supporters, but for Hinn personally, who saw it as an example of God's grace at work in his life. Number 1. Benny Hinn's renouncement of the prosperity gospel. In 2019, Benny Hinn made one of the most shocking and controversial decisions of his ministry. He publicly renounced the prosperity gospel, a belief system he had been closely associated with for decades. The prosperity gospel teaches that faithfulness to God will result in financial and material blessings, a message that had been a cornerstone of Hinn's ministry for years. His healing crusades and televangelist broadcasts were often filled with messages of divine rewards for those who gave generously. However, Hinn's change of heart was monumental. During a live broadcast, he announced that he could no longer preach the prosperity gospel, admitting that it was misleading and that focusing on material wealth was not in line with biblical teachings. He confessed that his past teachings on wealth and prosperity were wrong and vowed to steer his ministry in a new direction, emphasizing a more spiritual approach to faith and healing. This renouncement sent shockwaves through the Christian community. Many praised Hinn for his honesty and humility, seeing it as a sincere step toward spiritual integrity. Others were skeptical, questioning whether his financial practices had truly changed. Despite the mixed reactions, this moment marked a significant turning point in Benny Hinn's career.